Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Krishna Shiva Creations. In this series of illuminating text, I will guide you through the complete process of measurement system analysis. Complete course shall be covered and published in 4 phases. Till now we have completed the first 2 phases, that is MSA definition and MSA parameters. If you have not watched the videos, links are given in the below description. Please watch. From this video, we shall start the third phase, that is MSA tools and methods. This phase shall contain consecutive 3 videos. So let's get started with the third phase. So before understanding the types of MSA tools and study the MSA tools, we need to brush up the different types of data, because mainly the MSA tools are dependent upon the type of data we are dealing with. So data are basically of 2 categories. First is the qualitative, which deals with the characteristics of the components which we cannot measure easily, like the smell, the taste, the color. Okay, like here is the color of the marbles. The second is the quantitative, wherein we can measure some value whether in continuous or discrete form. So quantitative is again divided into the variable part, which is the continuous data part, wherein we can measure and get a continuous value like the dia, height, length of any components. And the second is the attribute. Attribute means the discrete data, wherein there are okay not okay part, we can do the countings. So these are basic differences of the data, and upon this we will study the different types of MSA tools. So depending on the different type of data for variable and attribute, we have different MSA tools. Like this slide shows, there are 6 tools for variable data, of which the 4 tools cover most of the requirements and help us in improving the measurement system by reduction of measurement system variation. So in this course, we shall cover the stability study, bias study, linearity study and the GRS study. Similarly, for attribute data, we have 4 MSA tools, of which the first 2 caters most of the requirement for inspection of the attribute data and improving the measurement system of the attribute data. So in this third phase, we will cover these 6 tools, that is 4 for the variables and 2 for the attributes. So let's start with the first tool in variable data. So we have discussed in the previous phase what is stability. Stability is the change of bias over time. So for checking the bias over time, that is the stability, we need to select the gauge first, for which we need to perform the study, and we have to collect some samples. Okay, so on which we will do the measurements. After that, we need to measure the reference value. Okay, we need to know the reference value with respect to which we will calculate the bias. This reference value, how we need to measure, we will come to that in the coming slide. But as we discussed, there is no true value, we cannot achieve the true value, so reference value need to be ascertained. After that, we need to establish the frequency, as stability is the change in bias over time, so that time period needs to be established, whether it is 1 week or it is a month. So we need to establish that. Then we have to collect reading 3 to 5 times each time we do the measurement. Okay, measurement has to be done with the single appraiser every time, and we need to take 3 to 4 times of reading every time. Now with those reading, we have to calculate the X double bar, that is average of the average, and R bar, that is the average of range, and A2 is a constant that comes from a statistical chart. Then we, using those two, we have to calculate the upper control limit, that is UCL, and LCL, that is the lower control limit. Using all these data, we need to plot the X bar R chart. Okay, the X bar R chart, the upper portion is the X bar graph, wherein all the averages are plotted, and the lower portion, this is the X bar R chart, and the lower portion is the range chart. So this X bar R chart will tell us the stability of the system, whether there is any special cause present in the system, that it will tell us. Then we have to check for stability. Now, what are the procedure or checkpoints that we need to check? We will understand that in the coming slide. Now, there are a set of guidelines which need to be followed very strictly to achieve expected effectiveness of the study that we are performing. So first of all, we need to understand that reference measurement should be done using the equipments which are traceable to standard, like CMM, like slip gauge, all those. Next, we have to remember that all the instrument measurements that are being done during the study should be done by the single appraiser. Same appraiser should perform all the measurements. Thirdly, we have to remember that if the data is stable, then only the measurement system is capable of doing the bias study. So stability is the threshold for doing the bias study. Next, we have to understand that A2 constant that appeared in the formula in the last slide, wherein the x double bar equal plus minus A2 into into R bar. That A2 is a constant that comes from a statistical table which depends on the number of samples which we are using. Okay, then these are the set of criteria that I mentioned earlier. Also, we will see in this slide, which tells us whether there is any special cause in our system or not. Okay, so if any of these 8 points comes true, then our system has some special cause, so that is not stable. So first point is one or more above USL or below LSL. So one or more point above USL or below LSL means that our system is not stable. 7 points in a row on the same side of the central line. This is also 1 point. 7 points should not be on one side. 6 points in a row, all increasing or decreasing trend. Suppose this trend line, this shows, there is a graph. This shows this rule. Okay. 14 points in a row alternating up and down. 14 points in up and down like zigzag manner is also indicator for special cause. 2 out of 3 points more than 2 standard deviation from central line. So out of 3 points, no 2 points should lie more than 2 standard deviation from the central line. And in line to that, 4 out of 5 points more than 1 standard deviation from the central line. No 4 points out of 5 points should not lie within the 1 standard deviation of the central line. Now 15 points in a row within 1 standard deviation of central line is the 7th point which we need to check, and the final point is 8 points in a row more than 1 standard deviation of the central line on either side of the mean. So we need to check all these 8 points. If these 8 points are not true, then only we can say our measurement system is stable and there are no special cause. Now, completing the stability study, we come to the second tool, that is the bias study. So bias study, as we all know, bias is the difference between the reference value and the actual value. For that, we need to select the gauge first and we need to collect some samples on which we will do the measurement. Similarly to the stability study, we need to do the measurement for the reference value using a traceable equipment, and then we need to collect readings. Readings should be more than 10, that is n greater than equal to 10. Then determine the bias using this formula. As we have seen in previous phases, we need to calculate bias for each readings and then calculate the average bias using this formula. Then we have to construct a histogram, okay, which will tell us whether our data is normal or not. For checking the normality, we basically construct a histogram. After that, we have to compute the sigma repeatability using this formula and the calculated values that we have calculated in the above cases, wherein sigma is sigma of xi minus x bar squared by n minus 1. Okay, then we have to calculate the sigma bias. Sigma bias is given by sigma repeatability by root over n, where n is the number of readings that we have taken. After calculating the sigma bias, we then determine the T bias. T bias is given by the average bias by the sigma bias. Yes, there are some formulas, we have to calculate some things to understand what is the bias, but okay, we can remember all this and we can do the calculations. Then we have to take the TC, that is the T critical, from the T table. Now T table is again a statistical table which shows the different T critical values with respect to the degrees of freedom, which is equal to n minus 1. So here our n is 10, so degree of freedom is 9, and it depends upon 1 minus alpha by 2. Okay, then we, using all those calculated values, we have to finally compute the upper and lower interval. Now upper and lower interval, after calculating that, then we have to check the acceptability of the bias. Now what are the criteria? We will come up with this in the next slide. So again, there are some set of guidelines which we need to strictly adhere to get the expected outcome of the study. So first of all, as we discussed previously also, traceable equipment should be used for doing the reference measurement, and same appraiser, again the same thing, same appraiser should do all the measurement during the study. And the third is histogram, as I mentioned earlier also, is used to interpret the normality of the collected data. Now DF is the degree of freedom. This also I mentioned in the previous slide, wherein it depends upon the number of trials, where it is equal to n minus 1. So, and T critical is a value from the T table, which is a statistical table. This is also we discussed. And now finally the check is the T bias that we have calculated should be less than the T critical value that we have indicated from the statistical table, the T table. Okay, now this is first check, where T bias should be less than T critical. Okay, and next is the bias is acceptable if 0 lies between upper and lower interval. The interval that we calculated in the last slide using the formula, 0 should lie within the lower and upper interval. Then only our bias is acceptable. This concludes the bias study. Now we have completed the first two tools, that is the bias study and the stability study. Now the third tool is the linearity study. As we all know, the bias, linearity, stability, all are the properties of the instrument. Okay, now linearity, as we have discussed also, is the change in bias over the operating range. So while doing the measurement, what we have to do before, we have to select the gauge for which we have to conduct the study. We have to collect some parts, the samples on which we will do the measurement. Minimum 5 parts are required for this study. And we have to set the operating range, wherein we have to fix on which operating range we have to do the measurement. After that, as we have done in the previous studies also, we have to take the measurement of the reference value, and then we will start taking the readings. Now for each set of readings, we need to take 12 readings minimum. Okay, after that, similar to the bias study, we have to calculate the bias, then we have to calculate the average bias, and we have to do all the calculations that we have done. Ultimately, we have to compute the upper and lower interval of the bias. After that, there are some differences which will happen in the linearity study. We have to plot all the bias in the scattered plot with respect to the reference value in x-axis. So in the x-axis there will be the reference value, and y-axis will indicate the bias, individual bias and the average bias. Finally, after plotting all the bias in dots, then we have to draw the best fit line, which will ultimately show the linearity curve. After that, we will plot the upper and lower interval of bias that we have calculated, and this will give the final outcome. Then we have to interpret what is the linearity. As we have discussed in the previous section also in the videos, which shows the non-constant bias is the linearity. This is the constant bias, this is the constant bias. So how to interpret, we will coming into the next slide. Now for the linearity also, there are a set of guidelines which need to be followed strictly to get the interpretation of the study the best effective way. So first of all, similar to the previous studies, we have to do the measurement of the reference with respect to the equipments which are traceable to the standards. Second is the same appraiser has to perform all the measurements while doing the studies across the operating range. Now for linearity, minimum 5 bias study need to be conducted, since we have collected the 5 samples as I mentioned earlier also, which will cover the operating range. So minimum 5 bias study is required. All calculations are done same as bias study. This we have also seen. And all individual bias and average bias need to be plotted in the scatter diagram. It is not that we will plot only the average bias. No, we have to plot all individual bias and the average bias in the scatter diagram. Now linearity is given by the slope of the best fit line of these points that we have plotted in the scatter diagram. This we have seen, it gives the slope whether it is positive or negative. Okay, and the acceptance criteria is the zero line must be contained within the limit lines, means the upper limit and the lower limit lines that we have constructed in the graph, that should contain the zero line. Okay, so this is the linearity study. We covered the linearity study over here, wherein we understand whether our system is linear or not. So that's all for this video. We have completed the first 3 tools, that is the bias study, the linearity study and the stability study. In the next video we will understand the GRR study, and after that we will understand the MSS studies for the attributes. Thank you for watching, and if you have any queries, please let me know in the comment section. I'll be very happy to help you out and give the required answers on the comments. Thanks a lot for watching. If you have liked the video, please hit the like button. That makes a difference. And what makes more difference is when you hit that subscribe button. Yes, thank you. Please hit the notification bell also to get notified about the upcoming videos of the next phases that I will be coming up with. See you in the next video. Till then, keep smiling and take care.